Hi everyone, and welcome back to 80 Passione. Day 4 at Wimbledon, and finally a very nice sunshine today on the 1st of July. The roof was open on center court where Roger Federer defeated in 1 hour and 51 minutes the Frenchman Richard Gasquet. Another Switzerland versus France after the first round against Manarino, and the outcome was the same. But fortunately for Roger, the match was much more convincing, and as well his performance. Roger made 50 winners. I have to say, like Roger confirmed at the end on the on-court interview, only the first set was quite tough. It was going very quick, more due to the unforced errors of both players, and I think it was quite inevitable that the first set was decided on a tie break. In fact, Richard Gasquet went on serve. He saved a break point in the opening game, and in the following one, Roger saved 3 break points, and after each one of them managed basically to keep his serving game quite comfortable. Also, they were showing some statistics. Wimbledon is the only Grand Slam that Roger never miss. In fact, last year he was quite lucky because he was cancelled due to the pandemic. Otherwise, like, he was kidding at the end of the match, probably after his 2 double knee surgery, he would only be able to come and walk on the grass court. So like I was saying, you know, the opening set was decided at a tiebreak. It was quite a one-sided tiebreak because Roger won with the score of 7-1. He got immediately a mini break in the first point, and after it was very solid and convincing on his serve. And definitely, probably the fact that he won in 49 minutes the opening set gave him that kind of a confidence that he needed. After they were showing statistics, only in the first set he made 18 winners and 13 unforced errors. So he was more courage, you know, and braver than Richard Gasquet, and probably he kind of took more risk, and this game plan paid him back. It was quite funny. They were just mentioning that Richard Gasquet probably is not very lucky in terms of draw. If he played Roland Garros the second round against Rafael Nadal, here in Wimbledon he played this second round against Roger Federer, someone who won this tournament 8 times. So like I was saying, the second set was even better for the Swiss champion. He managed to win it in 26 minutes with a score of 6-1. Roger saved straight away a break point in the opening game, and he was the first basically to break in the second. It was incredible because in that game Richard Gasquet was 40 love up. He made an unbelievable shot with a backhand down the line. It was kind of raising his hands in the sky, celebrating, involving the entire crowd, but probably lost a little bit of concentration, and after Roger made 5 consecutive points. And like I said, the second set was quite one-sided. In just 15 minutes, Roger was already leading 4-love. And the third set started again with Gasquet on serve. In this case, he was much more probably cautious, and the set was on balance until the fifth game, when initially Richard Gasquet saved a break point after Roger leveled the score on 3-all, and in the following game, in the 7th, Roger got that break that probably gave the win. I think even with his body language, Richard Gasquet probably realized that there was no a chance for him just to convert and change the outcome of this match. In the 10th game, Gasquet was good, to save a match point, probably to make the match a little bit longer and entertain more the crowd. But after in The following one, Roger was quite, confident on serve, and he won with an ace. It was quite funny because, he made an ace. Richard Gasquet called a challenge, but the umpire reminded him that basically finished all the challenges. So unfortunately, he had to accept the call of the lines umpire. As well, both players were quite nice over the net. There is a lot of respect. I think the match was quite pleasant in terms of shots. Both of them one-handed backhand, and even Roger said that the atmosphere was even better today without the roof. He said it's always a pleasure to play against Richard, someone with a wonderful backhand. I always try to copy, take some inspiration by his backhand, and he said I'm very, very happy with my performance. And when the interviewer asked him, you only played, I think, something like 10 matches in the last probably 15 months. Where are you with your tennis? Roger was kind of shaking his shoulders, and he was saying, I don't know how far I am from my best tennis. I'm trying to enjoy the moment. I'm happy, to be in the third round. By the way, it's the 18th time that Roger Federer reached the third round here at Wimbledon. And he said, I hope the atmosphere will be as well great in 2 days' time. I know that I'm going to play against another British player, a lefty, Cameron Ronnie. He has been doing great so far during this 2021. But I hope, we kind of a joke and a smile. He said, it's enough for this here, and I hope, he's going to stop, producing this incredible tennis. Fun enough, Cameron Ronnie was the same opponent of Rafa in the third round of Roland Garros. So it seems that more or less Roger and Rafa are kind of having the same opponents on their favorite tournaments. So again, I was quite pleased. Definitely Roger improved the level of his tennis, but I believe we just need to enjoy as much as we can this incredible champion, someone who's going to turn 40 on the 8th of August. You're probably wondering, how do you remember the 8th of August? Is the same day, of my, my sister was born on the same day, so of course I remember. And just joking apart, let's see what's going to happen for Roger. At the same time, just going back 24 hours ago on center court, the last match was played yesterday, was the one that saw Andy Murray winning on center court very late at night in 5 sets against the German Otte. He was 2-1 down. Probably in terms of quality, the match was not extraordinary, but I have to say, in terms of intensity, in terms of passion, in terms of that kind of commitment, I think it was great. Let's not forget that Andy Murray went through surgery. He has basically a metal hip, so I think it's very inspiring and incredible what he's doing. And also was basically after 4 years is the first time that Andy Murray is reaching a third round in a Grand Slam. The next match will be very, very tough against Denis Shapovalov, who went through in the second round due to a walkover of Andukar. Also was quite funny during the match. Andy started a kind of a particular connection with 2 spectators in the crowd. Even when they asked him, they said, I picked those 2 guys, a few people in the crowd, and I was basically staring at them pretty much after every point and trying just to engage with them. We were feeding off each other. And also at the end, Andy gave as a present to one of them the official Wimbledon umbrella, that by the way has a cost of £34, so a very generous gift, and also is a top. It was quite funny that probably against any kind of COVID rules, the fan was wearing straight away over his t-shirt Andy Murray's top. As well, looking at other results of the day, Daniil Medvedev won on court number 1 against the 18-year-old Spanish Alcaraz with a score of 6-4, 6-1, 6-2 in 1 hour and 34 minutes. 20 winners for the Russian player, only 12 unforced errors. It was quite funny basically when he won the first set, probably because the crowd was not getting too involved. He was kind of trying to do this kind of a sign. Of course, it's quite famous that here in Wimbledon, every time the crowd is always for the underdog. But I think, like Daniil Medvedev said, we're going to hear a lot about this Alcaraz. Probably in 3, 4, 5 years' time, I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to reach the top 10. So very solid performance for him. And when the interviewer at the end, during the on-court interview, mentioned it's your third time in a third round at Wimbledon, he said usually in Russia we say that the third time is the lucky one, so I hope to progress. I believe potentially he might play against Marin Cilic. I haven't checked, what was the final score, if the Croatian player won, but for sure, if this is the case, it's going to be quite entertaining. Also, just switching and looking at the women, it's quite curious and peculiar that the WTA, looking at the top 10, Barty is in the third round, the number 1. The number 2, Osaka, withdraw. Number 3, Alep had to pull out due to a calf injury. She couldn't basically recover on time. The number 4, Sabalenka, in the round 3. But now look at what happened, to all the remaining players. Number 5, Svitolina, out today in round 2. Sofia Kenin, the American, out yesterday in round 2. Bianca Andreescu out in round 1, number 7. Number 8, Serena Williams out in round 1 due to injury. Iga Swiatek, number 9, the only one, in round 3. And Petra Kvitova, who won twice here at Wimbledon, out in round 1. So only 3 players out of the top 10 of the seeding for the women are still here at Wimbledon. So it's very, very open. Probably, like I said, after the kind of Serena Williams empire, now it's quite interesting to see that each one of them, apart from probably Osaka, was quite dominant on hard court, winning 2 Australian Open and 2 US Open. When it's up, to Roland Garros, Wimbledon is very, very interesting. We might have, once again, a new winner at All England club. But just before leaving you, looking at the order of play of tomorrow, the world number 1, Novak Djokovic, will be back in action. He will play a second match on court number 1 against the American, I think, Kudla, sorry. Sometimes with all of these names, it's very difficult to remember. Again, I don't believe in these things, but I read somewhere that someone pointed out 2016, Novak Djokovic played the third round on court number 1 against an American, Sam Querrey. In that case, he lost. This time, he's going to play again, third round in 2021 against another American. It's never going to happen, but I just told you in case you believe in this kind of situation that kind of keep repeating over the time. Also, just looking at as well another player that so far has been very, very convincing, Alexander Zverev won in 3 straight sets his match today, and I think probably he's booking or is the favorite, to play the quarter final against our Matteo Berrettini. Matteo Berrettini, who is on fire, very, very solid from the baseline. Today he won again and is going to play the third round against Beden. Instead, Fognini tomorrow will play against Rublev, the Russian player who, like Fabio Fognini said, it seems that he only has a plan A, and it seems that he's working very well so far, probably doesn't need a plan B. We all know that Rublev is that kind of player that is just hitting strong, and if either is basically hitting winners, otherwise is making unforced errors. Let's see what's gonna happen. And also, last but not least, Lorenzo Sonego, a player that I particularly like, and as well my friend Giorgio. Have you seen I mentioned Sonego, an Italian, during my videos, moved to the third round. Today he won in 4 sets after losing the first. Very solid performance. I really like him. It reminds me a little bit kind of the Italian version of David Ferrer, a fighter, and he will play against an Australian player, Duckworth, who defeated today the American Sam Querrey. I believe that's all for today. Enjoy the sunshine, at least until the end of the evening if you are based here in the UK, because from tomorrow rain is expected again in United Kingdom, and unfortunately seems until at least next Wednesday. Fortunately, we have the roof on center court and court number 1. Enjoy tennis, keep eating strawberries with cream, and see you tomorrow. Ciao!